time and staying home. We start our update with some very sad news as a press conference was held at Civil Defense with the governor and her medical advisors, Dr. Mike Cruz and Dr. Jolene Uggan, announcing Guam's first COVID casualty.
My duty to report to Governor Luliongarel of our first COVID-19 related death at 01:30 this morning. Let me hand the mic over to Dr. Jolene Uggan. She can give you more details, and I'll come back on later for more information.
Half a day. GMH had an admission with a 68-year-old female who had multiple comorbidities. She came in with fevers, chills, and shortness of breath. She had no travel history. However, she did have contact with a traveler. Patient had before she could clinically decline, the patient and her family had made the decision not to undergo any extreme life-saving measures. And so over the past 36 hours, she was placed in comfort care, and she passed this morning at 01:30 at GMH.
As we mourn our first death, we must know that work does not stop and cannot stop. As of March 21, a total of 15 cases have tested positive of 103 that have tested negative for COVID-19. All 15 confirmed cases were kept in isolation, either at GMH or at home temporarily until transfer to the skilled nursing facility, which took place on Saturday. This was done in accordance with the U.S. Centers for Disease, CDC, and prevention guidelines and precedents set by other states. Those who were temporarily placed on home isolation were subject to monitoring by the public health staff.
The governor during the press conference stressed the importance of everyone to stay at home, practice good hygiene, wash your hands for 20 seconds, don't touch your face if your hands are dirty. Meanwhile, several people remain forced in quarantine. They arrived from the Philippines shocked and not knowing about the new mandatory forced quarantine protocols. Former KUAM photographer Dave Sablon is one of those individuals. He was rushing home to take care of his parents, had a 4-hour layover in the Philippines before arriving to Guam. We check in with him about life on lockdown.
Half a day. It's day 4 in quarantine. First off, I'd like to express my heartfelt condolences and prayers to the family of the deceased, the first COVID-19 patient on Guam. It's a very sad day. I hope that we don't have to experience any more of those. We're here. We're here for another 10 days. Nothing's really changed. I'm sure the system is overwhelmed, short-staffed. I want to commend the public health officials who daily put themselves at risk to come around and just do temperature checks. The hotel staff here has banded to assist the government officials in carrying out their duties. Yeah, it's very sobering to hear about the deceased, and I'd hate to see that happen to anybody else on this island. I ask all of you to, God, really just stay home if you can. I know a lot of you are commenting that it's easier said than done. If you gotta go out, I guess you gotta go out, but please be careful. Wear a protective mask if you can. You should. Gloves if you can. You should bring sanitizing agents, alcohol, whatever you have to continue to keep your hands sanitized. Stay safe. Stay home. 14 days. We'll figure this out. See who's sick, see who's not, get them treated. Gotta understand there's several different strains that are going around of this, and we don't know which one is on Guam. Italy apparently has the same strain as China. That's why it's so deadly, and it's hitting their manamco. Please, please, keep your family, keep our island safe. We can be an example to the world as how our community pulled together in a short time and got rid of this from our island. Eradicated it from our shores. We can do it. That's our culture. Coming together. Just do it. Just stay home. Take care of your family. If you love them, stay home. Bonding time. Bonding time. Hug them, love them. You just never know. Peace.
And finally, while all major social gatherings are banned under the governor's new order, today's Mass at the Cathedral Basilica downtown had a huge congregation, all online. More than 1,100 of your fellow Guamanians attended on the KUAM News live stream of today's Sunday's devotionals, with the sanctuary only comprised of a single lector and a priest. Here's Father Ron Richards, the Chancellor of the Archdiocese of Agana.
Christ provides when substance isn't there. If you truly believe in Christ, you will believe that. He can give to you what you are missing. So, rather than fight the situation we are in and remain in darkness, find glimmers of light. Find that glimmer and see that as Christ coming to you in a different way. And let that fill you in your spiritual need as we share in this together.
And that is your latest update on COVID-19. Again, there's been one fatality. She is a 68-year-old woman. She had no travel history, but she had been in contact with an individual who had traveled. We should be getting the very latest numbers from the Joint Information Center sometime this evening, and of course we will pass that along to you once we receive it, so make sure to stay tuned to our social media platforms. Also, just a reminder to make sure to join Chris Barnett and I weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on I-94 FM, and also streaming live on Facebook to share your stories about how you're dealing with a life under COVID-19. Make sure to give us a call at 637-0094. And before I wrap this up, I just wanted to give a special shout out and a thank you to all of our first responders, all of the healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, firefighters and police officers, everyone that is just keeping our island going during this challenging time. Really, from all of us at KUAM, thank you so much. I'm Sabrina Salas Matson reporting for Guam's News Network.
Just like Guam, the state of California is under a mandatory stay-at-home order aimed at slowing the spread of coronavirus. It comes as the number of COVID-19 cases continues to surge in the U.S. More than 12,000 people have now tested positive, and the death toll keeps growing as well. Experts say those grim numbers will only go up as more people are tested. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has ordered everyone in the state to stay home. A similar edict had already been posted in nearly 24 counties in the state, all with the same goal: contain the coronavirus.
Expanding this statewide makes sense in that respect, and I think people are making sense of what this is and what this isn't.
The jarring announcement from the West Coast came just hours after President Trump cited a possible glimmer of hope in the pandemic.
I think it could be a game changer.
The president announced that 2 existing medications had been identified as potential COVID-19 treatments. One is an experimental Ebola drug. The other, hydroxychloroquine, was developed to treat malaria, but has been used as an arthritis medicine since the 1950s.
It's been around for a long time, so we know that if things don't go as planned, it's not going to kill anybody.
Both drugs are now being tested in clinical trials. If they're effective, Mr. Trump says they will be fast-tracked for FDA approval. Optimism was in short supply elsewhere. The State Department issued a rare Level 4 advisory, telling U.S. citizens they should avoid traveling outside the country. Those already overseas are urged to return at once. The number of coronavirus deaths in Italy now surpasses the total in China, where the virus emerged late last year. Chinese authorities, meanwhile, reported no new infections on Thursday, the first time that's happened since the outbreak began. The federal response to the coronavirus crisis continues to be hampered by shortages of medical equipment and supplies.
There's not enough testing available right now to meet demand. The good news is that here they're starting up.
This pandemic continues to wreak havoc on the world's financial markets. The Dow saw a modest gain Thursday, but economists are bracing for a potentially unprecedented surge in the number of people applying for unemployment benefits. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
On Monday, March 23rd, Guam Department of Education is launching their grab-and-go school meal program. The operation will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 11 school sites across the island on weekdays. The lunch meals are for all students 18 years old and below. This includes public, private, charter, and Dodea schools. GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez received the waiver approval yesterday morning from USDA that allows the department to create a drive-through operation. Fernandez tells KUAM depending on how long the government-wide school closure lasts, then there may be a phase 2 of the program that would expand to more distribution sites located within the villages, and if approved, the addition of breakfast meals. The Guam Election Commission Board met this morning with healthcare professionals to hear about possible risk relative to holding the Zonia special election, which was scheduled for next Saturday, March 28th. The GEC board voted 4-0 to recommend the governor postponing the vote. 3 Republicans and 1 independent member voted in favor of postponing, while Democrats Alice Tajerun and Joe Mafnis were present at the meeting, but decided to abstain from voting. Meanwhile, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero received the recommendation from the GEC and a decision is pending. The vote will fill the vacancy created by former Zonia Mayor Jesse Blas, who resigned while in jail on bribery and extortion charges. Amidst all the chaos of COVID-19, concerns were raised about how cancer patients are being cared for during the lockdown. During the Containing COVID morning show on Friday, Melissa Wabel, CEO of Island Cancer Center and Guam Surgery Center, which handles radiology oncology, said their patients will continue to come to their clinic even with the lockdown.
Radiation oncology works by succession. So you need to come and meet every one of those appointments in order to get the best outcome for your cancer.
Wabel says that the clinic has procedures put in place to ensure the limit of traffic and the amount of people that have to pass coming into the clinic.
We ask them to be delivered directly to our back door so they don't have to go through the common areas of the building that our clinic is inside. So they actually come directly into our clinic. We can measure their temperature when they come in. Patients that are new consults, we gather all the information prior to them coming. We make a pre-screening phone call to them to make sure that if they have any symptomatology that would put them as a person under investigation, then we would mask them when they come in because they still need to make their appointment.
She adds that if patients have any questions regarding their appointment, they are encouraged to call their clinics or healthcare providers. The locally owned Fizz & Co. soda and food shop put smiles on young ones' faces Thursday afternoon as the family business hosted a free lunch giveaway for students in need. Daughter of the owner, Mariana Crisostomo, and family friend Dominique Cruz were the masterminds behind the event. The duo saw a post on Facebook of other restaurants around the world doing something similar and decided to join in on the give back effort. There were roughly 50 people that made their way to the retro shop. Crisostomo says many families were worried about bringing their children to the Ganya shopping center, and this led to lunch drop-offs at residences. In addition, they made a last-minute decision to partner with Manette Lou to distribute the remaining lunches directly to children. Crisostomo says, quote, the families and kids that received the lunch were so grateful you can just see it in their eyes, the appreciation, the happiness. Fizz & Co. had a total of 300 prepackaged meals. And with schools closed due to the lockdown, many parents are faced with having to homeschool their kids and keep them active and creative to avoid them from going stir-crazy during quarantine. Gate Visual Arts resource teacher Adele De Milanta created an Instagram account at @shake_the_box. And in the past 3 days, she's been sharing cool ideas that parents can possibly do with their children that are art-related.
There are a ton of resources out there. You can look up homeschooling. You can look at art at home.
Right.
There are amazing teachers who are working from home, spitting out lessons and websites and, even low-tech things that you don't necessarily need an iPad, but really engaging things that students can do from home.
You can listen to De Milanta's interview with Sabrina and Chris on containing COVID-19 by heading over to youtube.com/KUAM News. And Guam Animals in Need closed the shelter early this week in line with GovGuam's island-wide closure. However, that doesn't mean animals are not still in need. GAIN staff is taking care of the animals during this time, and there are no volunteers on the grounds. GAIN President Cyrus Lurs said while there may not be business happening at the shelter, people can place adoptions online on guamanimals.org. They have posted photos of the dogs and cats in an application form. Cyrus also confirms that animals are not subject to COVID-19 and may just be the remedy we all need during self-quarantine.
CDC and the World Health Organization have said that pets are not a source of COVID-19 transmission, and so people do not need to be worried about their animals transmitting it. But we always say that it's important to, take care of your animals. And so if they're feeling sick for any reason, please, take care of them, see a vet.
For any emergency situations, you can call GAIN at 988-1615. Stay tuned on the Weekend Edition. We have trend spotting and still to come, much more to bring you.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Hafa, I'm Bernie Valencia with Matson. Our local Matson team understands that these are very trying times for everyone. Matson's top priority, like yours, is to keep our families safe and healthy and ensure you have what you need. We'd like to give you peace of mind that Matson's service continues on schedule and uninterrupted. Matson is committed to our weekly service from the United States West Coast to Honolulu into Guam and Saipan. We are working with the Port Authority of Guam and providing the capacity and services our customers need so they can continue to meet your needs. Matson will take all appropriate measures to ensure continuity of service into Guam and Saipan. When we work together to take care of our family and neighbors, we will emerge from this as a stronger island community.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Port Authority of Guam, KUAM Communications, and Matson.
It's a celebration at Cars Plus Guam. During our Jeep celebration event, receive up to $2,000 off on the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road mid-size pickup truck. Customize your Gladiator the way you want it. Call 477-7807 or visit our website and get pre-approved online at carsplusguam.com today.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. While everyone stays home over the next couple of weeks, Boca Box's Jess Rosario has nutrition on lockdown. Here's more on how you can stay healthy at home.
Hafa Day, Guam. My name's Jess Rosario from the Boca Box, and welcome to Boca Talks on the Lockdown. Now, we're going to be stuck at home for the next 10 days, but that doesn't mean that we have to neglect our health. And I wanted to talk about snacking today because that's one of the things, if your family's like mine, we're going to be watching a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and we're also going to be snacking throughout the day. And the bad thing about snacking is that it can lead to unnecessary calories that we didn't mean to eat. Right, Pumpkin? So I have 3 tips to help you guys snack healthy on the lockdown. First tip is to just make sure you're buying good things. You can buy all the junk, but make sure you have some good things as well, so you're kind of balancing that out. So this is actually all the stuff that we bought for the next week. I have lots of fruits, lots of veggies, some meats and cheeses, and then all the other stuff that people are used to snacking on. Second tip is to control your portions. And the way we do that is we put the snacks that aren't really too healthy for us, we put them into baggies like this. And we put them into the serving size that's on the nutrition fact label. And this is just to monitor and help us not eat through the whole bag in one sitting. The third tip that I have is to practice social distancing with your snacks. And what I mean is, it's very easy for us to grab a bag of potato chips or something else and watch a movie and eat the whole thing, and then we're like, oh, what happened to it? So what we like to do is we like to grab a few snacks for the day and we put them into a box. This is our snack box. And whenever we want a snack, we'll just grab it from our snack box, and everything else we put away so that we're not tempted to eat through it. Because if it's laying out on the counter like this, you're going to eat through it in one day. And we don't want that, because then we have to go back to the store. Nobody wants to go to the store right now. But yeah, Practice safe snacking, Guam, and hope everyone stays safe and stay healthy.
Although fitness centers and gyms across the island are shutting their doors in accordance with the executive-ordered lockdown, there's no excuse for you not getting in that workout. Trish McKelly offers some exercises you can do at home to stay in shape.
Millions are stuck inside or working from home like myself today to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Local health experts say it's important now more than ever to get up and move. Personal trainers say there are ways you can burn calories from the comfort of your own home with everyday items that you might already have.
Kalamazoo's strength and conditioning head coach Josh Marundi says even if you don't have gym equipment at home, there are ways to stay fit. He says you can use bottles of laundry detergent as dumbbells. Marundi also suggests filling up a suitcase to lift or squat. He says get creative. Don't just do a bunch of push-ups or sit-ups. That could overwork your muscles. Marundi says at a time like this, it's important to focus on your health and what you can control.
Starting next weekend, you'll definitely want to catch our new segment with Custom Fitness, providing you tips on how to work out from home during the mandatory social isolation period.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
With the governor's newest executive order, I'm bringing you your top stories from home. Here's what's coming up next on Trendspotting. Hey everyone, I'm Cami Aguirola and welcome back to another episode of Trendspotting. Here are the topics that had you talking this week. Lock the island with the shelter-in-place order for all residents and stop inbound flights. That's what local residents, the Guam Medical Association, and Democrat senators are urging the governor to do to help fight the spread of COVID-19. On containing COVID-19, the I-94 FM and KUAM Facebook morning show, caller Maria shared her deep concerns.
I'm only scared and I'm only worried because I'm 70 and she doesn't want a lockdown. And the thing about what is she waiting for? For someone to die with this corona?
Maria, a Dededo resident, said she thinks
waiting?
the governor should lock down the island to help stop the spread of COVID-19. And she's not alone. 75% of people polled on our show that they favor a lockdown banning flights into Guam. The Guam Medical Association and even the governor's Democrat supermajority sending letters to the Magahaga asking her for a shelter-in-place order and stop flights from arriving at the A.B. Juan Pat International Airport. Senators also urged the governor to ask the Federal Aviation Administration, Federal Customs, and U.S. Homeland Security to prohibit all inbound flights as we stop the spread of COVID-19 and recover as a community. We believe the complete shelter-in-place order of our island is necessary to stop the spread of this pandemic, the letter read. Meanwhile, the Guam Medical Association, after a meeting with the governor, sent a letter to Adelup also calling for a lockdown. Doctors said it's the only way to do a thorough trace investigation, isolate COVID-19 patients, and starve the virus. But Minority Leader Senator Tetlo Taitigui was not down with the lockdown. Shutting down the airport, she questioned, I don't think that's going to help us at this point. Taitigui said if senators and doctors want to ask the Magahaga questions, there are other more important questions they can ask her. Send letters asking why this is not done, why the skilled nursing unit has not been done, where are the respirators? Those are things we should be asking her, she said. In response to Senator Taitigui, Facebook user Clarissa Wilson said, seriously, that's the most important questions you want to ask? Shortage on respirators? Yeah, I get that's important, but don't you think that if we lock down the island, we won't have so many sick people? We're short on space and kits because of people coming in making us sick. How do you solve it? Lock down the island. And another Facebook user, Brianna Mortalam, said, I don't understand how you can close down the government and leave everything else to run as normal. Yes, it's up to the people to control this, but not everyone is taking it seriously. And Dirk Lopez said since the governor is an RN, send her to the front lines with the other nurses risking their lives because she doesn't want to put a stop to incoming travel. Adaloop Chief Policy Director Carlo Branch talks with Nestor Lecanto about a litany of issues relative to containing COVID-19 on Guam. Some of the issues discussed include the Guam Legislature and Guam Medical Association's demand for a full lockdown, new mandatory quarantine protocols for arrivals from the Philippines and other COVID-affected areas, and the supply of COVID-19 test kits and the economy. Branch gave his response to the call for a complete lockdown of flights coming into Guam and said the challenge is that it would effectively cut us off from receiving aid by air.
Even if that was done, there will be the potential for significant unintended consequences. For instance, the old man who called me, who is at himself a risk for COVID-19, who needs medical equipment ordered and can't get it because this particular carrier will not fly to Guam as a result of what is going on around the world. And so the governor, in attempting to use the power that she does have, ordered this extraordinary step of quarantining those individuals from a country that seems to have been a place where many of our COVID-19 victims have emanated from or traveled through.
Aside from the administration's response to call for a full lockdown, Branch responded to other issues such as the status of test kits, the opening of the skilled nursing facility in Barrigada Heights, and the state of the island's economy. Here are some of your comments. One Facebook user said, Governor needs to do her research. She needs to find out if she can waiver and allow only medical and vital needs and necessities to come through airport. Otherwise, shut it down for all other visitors and travelers for at least 14 days for the safety of this island and its people, please. Joseph Cruz said, we are not saying to cut off flights for medical supplies, we are saying to cut off tourist flights from infected areas or countries. And Mark Ibana said, do you really believe that those guys will self-quarantine themselves before flying over to Guam? Quarantine means you're supposed to stay in a room for the amount of days without leaving.
On my direction, this government took extraordinary steps to keep Guam safe, and I told you I would take further steps when they were needed.
Effective 12 noon on March 20, mandatory social isolation will go into effect at the order of the governor. All businesses, with exceptions with healthcare providers and clinics, banks and credit unions, grocery stores, and gas stations have been ordered to close through March 30th. Exceptions to the order include healthcare, essential infrastructure, banks and credit unions, grocery stores, pharmacies, gas stations, auto repair shops, garbage collection, hardware stores, laundromats, and food takeout or delivery. Again, the closures will remain in effect through March 30, at which point the governor will make another decision on the state of the island during the pandemic. For more information, you can call 475-9473 or 475-4770 and stay tuned with KUAM News on Instagram and Facebook for updated information. And that's all this week on Trend Spotting. Suzus Masi for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's time for your weekend birthday shout-outs, everybody. So, happy birthday to Claudine Flores, who celebrates a birthday on Saturday, March the 21st. And happy birthday, big number 72, to Senor Juan Ugan. Happy birthday, Juan. We love and appreciate you, says each and every member of your adoring family. So from all of us at KUAM and your friends at Cold Stone Creamery, we hope the both of you, Juan and Claudine, have a very, very happy birthday. Everyone, please take care. Remember to wash your hands and be good to each other.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-8111 for more details on how we can help your business save money.